And we're live. Welcome back to the OVC Media Day here at the Doubletree Hotel in Evansville, Indiana. And it's time to talk about Morehead State. And we have head coach Jonathan Mattox here and Davion Cunningham as well. Morehead State ready to do damage this year. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen with the Eagles. First of all, uh, you do the summer workouts, you start practice for real then, and here we are in the middle of October. How's your team developing? You and I talked several weeks ago, but how's the team developing and coming together?
Yeah, I think pretty well from my vantage point. And there's going to be ups and downs in that process from the summer to the fall, from fall to official practice. But the thing I've been most impressed with, and I've said this really since these guys got here in early June, is how well they play together, right? Their willingness to make the extra pass, their willingness to get a teammate open, to get a teammate another shot. I've been very impressed with that, even going back to June and July, and it's carried on to today.
You and I know a lot of the same people, but we haven't hung out together a whole
Right.
lot. Tell people just a little bit about your journey to this spot.
Yeah, my journey is we got 3 Division II players on our team. I played Division II at Anderson University in South Carolina for Jason Taylor, who's on my staff now. I finished my career playing at Emmanuel College in Franklin Springs, Georgia. They were NAIA at the time, and that's where I started my coaching journey, was at Emmanuel College for 2 years. Just fell in love with it. Was fortunate enough to get to Morehead State in 2013 as a graduate assistant, and my journey has been Morehead for 9 years, from graduate assistant to director of ops, assistant coach, associate head coach. Murray State,
all those glamorous jobs,
all of them, right? Murray State for a brief 2-year stint, and then very fortunate enough to be sitting where I am today.
So excited to have you back at Morehead State.
Absolutely.
And really excited about that. Davion, I've been asking all the players, and I do this all the time with players, why do you wear number 2?
Number I always wore. I was a football guy at first, so that was my number from the jump, and then it translated to basketball. But I just had a nickname, BC2. And we kind of took the 2 off of it. Now they just call me BC. Yeah, that's always my number now.
I'm always asking players like that. Some of them are inspirational. Some
Right.
of them are my favorite number, whatever. But I like to know the backstory. Why and how Morehead State? Like, why did you end up at Morehead State, and how did you end up there? But why?
So I was at USC Aiken last year.
Mm-hmm.
Decided to enter the portal, and Coach Mattox and his staff called me. They contacted me, and like I say, it wasn't like a player coach type of deal. Like, how you talk to coaches sometimes, like they're reading off a paper. It was kind of like a person to person. Like, I already knew him, so like that establishment, that connection was already there from the jump. So I'm like, why not? Why not Morehead State? Yeah, that's what it turned into. Why not Morehead State?
Those relationship pieces are so huge in what is a very transactional kind of business these days.
Sure, yeah. Now, the relationship piece still exists, or at least it should, in my opinion. And we try to value those in recruiting, try to value those in coaching. I try to be as transparent as I can be with our players in recruiting, in coaching, day to day. They know when I'm upset. They know when I'm happy with them. So I just try to be just be me, right? Don't be fake. Just be who you say you are, and try to be as transparent with them. And I think that pays off in the long run, especially in the development of relationships.
I asked Coach how the team is coming together. How about from your vantage point? Because a lot of new players. You're one of those new players. How's the meshing going on?
Right. So we got 12 new guys. So anytime you have that many new guys, you have not concerns, but just like questions on how it's going to merge. Like I was telling Coach Mattox in the car on the way up here yesterday, as we actually like each other. It's not like a teammate business type of deal. We hang out outside the court. We have fun. We talk about serious business. So it's easier to play for your brother when you have that relationship already established off the court, as that's my guy, that's my brother. I can call him for anything. So it's been fun. A lot of personalities. It's been a good time so far.
A lot of personalities.
Yeah, personalities for sure.
That's positive.
It depends on the day. Depends on the day.
People haven't seen you play in the OVC, obviously. Tell them the kind of game you bring to the floor.
I think if it was one word, probably just electrifying. I'm very electrifying. I like to fly up and down, kind of get the crowd involved. I kind of just feed off this energy guy. And whatever you need me to do, I try to make that happen for my team.
That's the first guy that said electrifying.
Yeah, the word I would use to describe Davion is dynamic. I mean, he's right. He's really quick twitch and athletic, can really guard, competes on both ends, which is why I love him. But then offensively, he can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. He's got great speed and quickness to go by guys, but he's also a really good shooter from the perimeter. So he poses a lot of problems.
Your program has enjoyed a lot of success in recent years.
Yep.
Talk about what the home court advantage is like for Morehead State.
Yeah, I think that's big. I think anytime, right, you're coaching, you're playing, one thing that's common is protect home court. That's something we probably started doing very well in 2020, 2021. We went 17-3 in the regular season, won the OVC championship in the building across the street. And that's what he and I were talking about that. I was just telling him last night, about that feeling. We're going to get back to that feeling. But yeah, it starts with protecting home court, right? If you can protect home court, that gives you a little bit more leeway. It gives you a little bit more, if something does happen on the road, you're still in good position. We're all competing to get in the tournament. We're all competing for seeding. You want to have a favorable seed. You don't necessarily have to have the 1 seed, but you do need a favorable seed, or 2 or 3, where you have a bye and only have to win 2 to 3 games to cut down the nets.
You talked about playing with and for your brothers. A lot of new guys. Who is somebody that maybe people don't notice today, but at the end of the year, we're going to be talking about?
We have a lot of guys, but kind of my North Carolina guy, Chase Dawson. He's a guy, and he's also a D2 guy with me. So we have a North Carolina and D2. So we kind of already have that similarity a little bit. And he's a guy that's kind of overshadowed because of his size. But we should know about Chase Dawson about a couple months here. We should know about Chase Dawson.
Talk about the style of play that the Eagles are going to play. You talked about your own style being electrifying or dynamic. What kind of style of basketball are the Eagles going to play this year?
We're gonna try to let our players play for ourselves. As in, we have a lot of playmakers, people who can score, people who can make plays for others. We kind of like to implement our offense as in double gaps, space, just to let guys be who they are. Kind of like guys like myself and other guards like Chase Dawson. Just kind of let them guys just be who they are and make plays for one another.
So you're talking about allowing players to maximize their own skill sets?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, basketball is a very simple game, right? You want to get, as a coach, you want to get your better players the most shots, right? You want to get your better players. You want to get the ball in their hands where they can make decisions, and that's all we're trying to do is have proper spacing, have proper concepts. Hey, this is the concept. Play out of this concept. Play out of this action. Play out of this cut. At the end of the day, Davion, go make a good play. Joe, go make a good play. Chase, go make a good play. If they make a bad play, I'll teach them through those moments. But you just got to trust those guys to make the right play. And for the most part, they have.
How close are you to your starting 5, your 8 or 9 that are going to be with all the new guys? I can imagine that it's more of a process.
Yeah. When we scrimmage, for instance, we scrimmaged the other day, there was 1-5 I started the first half, 1-5 I started the second half. The first time we subbed, 5 guys out, 5 guys in. So I think we've got a lot of depth. I know a lot of people probably say that at this time of the year, but I think we got quality depth where we've got some guys who, may be consistent starters, but we got a lot of guys who are in that mix.
Davion, who are the people or the influences in your life? When I want to get to know players, I want to know what makes them tick. Who has influenced them and pushed them or encouraged them to the path that they're on?
It's definitely my mother and my grandma for sure. I was raised by both of them, so it's kind of like, it's all I know. I seen them do things when they didn't want to and they didn't have to. Mother had 4 kids. She's married as well, but she did a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't my mom, basically. So my mama definitely, if I just get like a single, like before games, I can just think about my mom and things I've been through, kind of get me going quickly.
I love that. What's it like to play for this guy? You said you went there. There was a good relationship early on, but what's it like to play for him so far?
It's great. It's been great. Like I stated before, he's just a man who practices what he preaches. And for me, I don't know about anybody else. For me, actions speak louder than words. So it's easier to see things than hear it for me. So I just been enjoying the ride. Great relationship, great team. Just having fun so far.
This is an event.
Yep.
It's the beginning of the year.
Yep.
and maybe it's a pain because you want to be back home practicing.
Sure.
But it's an event and it's launching this season.
Yep.
That's going to end up back here again.
Correct.
You can kind of circle those dates and those
Sure.
times and say, this is what we're building for, and,
Sure.
and translating that idea of past memories for Morehead
Yep.
across the street.
Yeah, no, you want to start with a vision. Hey, this is our vision, right? This is what we envision ourselves doing as a program, right? These are our goals. The vision is important. The goals are important. But how we do what we do on a day-to-day basis is even more important. So yeah, it's great being here to start the so-called year. The year is going to end here, but the team that's going to be cut down the nets, Harry, the team that's going to be holding the trophy is going to be the team that's most consistent from now, right, until March, whatever, right? And that's the important thing.
When I think about that, and I think about accountability that players have to hold one another to,
Yep.
coaches have to hold them to, that's a sticky little point, though, isn't it? Because it requires relationship as well as discipline.
Sure. Accountability, at the end of the day, it's messy, right? And these guys know I love them, but they also have some times where I've got to get on them. There's some times where I've got to confront them. There's some time where it is messy, where it is ugly. That's just called coaching, right? And he and I talked for a while. Yes, I said the best coaches are the best demanders. So there are times where I am going to be demanding. There are times where I am going to hold them accountable. There are times where that's going to look messy in practice, and that's just part of it. But they respond to it, and they respond to it well.
When you look at your team, and you talked about brotherhood, relationship, playing for one another, what are the strengths of this team athletically, like on the floor?
I feel like we're very agile, as in we got bigs who can run up and down the floor. So we got bigs who can play above the rim. We got guards who can play above the rim. Wings who can back down strong. So I feel like the athletic size and the physicality won't be a problem. I feel like at Morehead State.
Looking forward to that. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The difference between year one and year two for you. Now you've been through the whole off season.
Yeah.
You're about ready to tip off the season.
Yeah.
How different is Jonathan Mattox today than a year ago?
Well, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about coaching, about teaching, about managing, but you also learn a lot about yourself, right? And that's probably the most important thing. If you can grow each year as a person, if you can grow each year as a coach, hey, it's all about self-evaluation and self-reflection with me. These are things we didn't do well. These are things I didn't do well. This is where we've got to get better, but also this is where I've got to get better. Now let's make those improvements, go out and implement it, and let's go have a great year.
I was talking to Jeremy Schulman earlier, and he just said, I found out at the end of the year, I had like not completely, but he had kind of lost his way in the way that he normally does stuff. And he had to get back to something.
You can't lose your way, because losing will make you do that. As competitors, losing is frustrating. Losing, it'll make you lose your mind. It'll make you lose sleep. It'll make you go crazy. And you got to kind of figure out how to balance it, because at the end of the day, nobody in this room is going to go undefeated. But guess what? Nobody in the country is going to go undefeated. So I told our guys last week, as great as UConn has been the last 3 years, they went back-to-back national championships. They go to Hawaii last year, Harry. If you remember, in Maui, they lose 3 in a row. Adversity is going to hit us all. The most important question is, how can you handle it? How can you respond from it?
As a new guy into the program, have you looked at the schedule and said, oh, we get to play so-and-so and we get to play so-and-so, or is that way in the back of your mind?
I'll be honest, I did. It's kind of hard not to, because there's some big games, big names, but you just got to win today. So you look far, but you got to pull myself back in. Just win today. Just win this practice. Just win this lift, this study hall, whatever it may be. Just win today, because eventually them days will stack up, and when you get there, you be well prepared for that situation.
Stacking days.
He's been listening. And that's a story. My friend Marlon Longacre, who's a Morehead alum, who shared with the team. And Marlon is a guy. He'd get mad at me. We probably talked more when I was an assistant than when I was a head coach, but he lives in Georgia. We got hot, and I don't know if you remember the 2020-2021 year. We started off like 4-6. Then we go on this big streak where we won 10 or 11 in a row. There
was some shutdown defense on that team.
Ooh, my goodness. And Marlon's calling me, Johnny, we're in a good spot. We're going to win 20 games. We're going to do this, that, and the third. And I said, hey, Marlon, let's just have a good breakfast. We're trying to have a good breakfast today. But my message was win today, what he just said. Win today, right? Can we win today, right? And then go from there.
But that defense, there was some nasty defense.
It was nasty, Eric. It was nasty. No question. No question. We're getting back to that. We got a few changes defensively we're making, but if we can be nasty on the defensive end, I really like our chances.
Final thought. I asked him about schedule, but when you put schedule together, obviously you've got to do some things. You've got to make some money for the program.
Sure.
You've got to look at some places that maybe could be easier wins. But are there other things that go into that meeting? I want our guys to have this kind of experience or this kind of environment.
Yeah, sometimes you factor in the experience, the environment. Sometimes you factor in even like where guys on the team are from, and can we get them a game close to home where their people can see, right? If their people can't get to Kentucky often. So that's a part of it. But then you got this part of it. It's really preparing us for OVC play. So, style of play. We're going to see different styles of play in the OVC, from what Arkansas Little Rock does to what SEMO does to what Lindenwood does. So you want to see different styles of play in the non-conference. So it's really designed to prepare you for conference play more than anything.
Appreciate your time. Davion Cunningham, Jonathan Mattox, Morehead State. Watch out for them this year. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Harry.
Stay tuned. We're going to have more from the OVC Media Day right after this. I think we talk to Southern Indiana folks in just a minute. Thanks for watching. And then I reach out. Oh, look, celebration happened behind us. I don't know how that happened.
You must know something.
Something happened.